Has approved a copyright law that will force giant online platforms like Google and Facebook to share more revenues with news and record companies. The EU says the legislation is necessary to protect Europe's cultural heritage, but critics say it could destroy user-generated content. Leaders of member states still need to sign off on the law, but it could lead to a lot of user-generated content disappearing online. Let's speak to Edward Adoo, who's a broadcaster and writer, and joins me now here in the studio. Edward, good to have you with us. So, you're a DJ. You've been in the music industry for many, many years. What do you think about this legislation that's
It's a bad day, because at the end of the day, it's about sharing content to my fan base or to an audience. For example, if it's a new track, if I'm DJing at a festival and that track hasn't been out or people don't have access to it, by prohibiting that track from getting out to people, it's not a good thing. I mean, in terms of marketing as well for new artists, this prohibits people from getting access to new music. A lot of people say,
so now when you upload that, Facebook,
you'll be questioned, you'll be asked,
I'm just going to cuss it out.
Yeah, and I think it's actually more, it's deeper than that. I think it's for example, someone gets married and it's the track that they've chosen as their for the first dance. If they don't get any authorization for the track to be played, then it's part of that experience. They're not allowed
even
to.
The most innocent
so the most innocent, all aspects of life will be affected by this ruling.
Okay, but many musicians, creators, record labels, they actually support these reforms. Sir Paul McCartney came out very much in favour of these reforms, saying, well, look, we've made this, we should be paid for this.
I think some of those artists who I'm sure, like the likes of McCartney, which in terms of royalties, he's made quite a bit over the years by saying, well, look, it's going to help us to recoup more revenue. I don't think it's about revenue. I think it's about the relationship between people who consume music and the artist. It's creating a bigger divide and saying, well, look, we're more interested in remunerating than for you to experience our back catalogue or your favourite track.
So people like you, are you going to have to rethink how
definitely,
you use
in every
content?
aspect. I mean, from the moment, I mean, even, for example, if there was a track behind us now during our interview, your producers would probably have to, if your producers wanted to put this on YouTube, they'd have to speak to the artist or to the record label to say, that 5 or 10 second piece, can we use it? And I mean, it's time that I don't have, I'm sure your producers or anyone doesn't have, to go through all those legalities. All right, the argument is those artists need to be remunerated. I'm sure there could be clauses put in place so that those artists could be remunerated in the right aspects.
Those industries are adamant that they are being starved of revenue, and it's leading to
it makes it sound as if it's a drought in the music industry, that they're not getting being recouped for anything. They are, through TV, through radio airplay. This is just another element which I'm sure could have been more drafted in a better way. But by saying, well, look, you can't play that track, or else, I mean, I'm sure it may even lead to prosecutions where it shouldn't lead to prosecutions. It's not allowing access, which I think is really bad. You know, to Joe Bloggs on the street who loves the music, who wants to hear that track because it's part of their lives, they're going to be prohibited from doing so because of this.
Some really interesting points there, Edward. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Edward Adoo there. Now, Ghanaians